Five, four, three, two, one.
Welcome to the hottest podcast in town, the Anyangay with Bench. This is unfiltered, unedited, and unscripted. This talk show dives deep into the hearts of today's most pressing topics, from business to politics, from arts to health, from social issues and current events. Nothing is off limits. Magandang gabi po sa inyo lahat. My name is Bench Cruz with the hottest podcast, Anyangay with Bench. Yes. Right. This evening po, we have a very special guest, and masasabi po natin na he is the voice of the youth. Ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause to the gentleman from Aurora Hill, Mr. Levi Lloyd Braza Orcales. Yay! How are you, sir?
Hello, it's
How are
nice
you?
to be here. Good evening.
Thank you so much for coming in spite of your very hectic schedule. Grabe, malapit na ang halalan.
Oo nga, ilang araw na lang ang naiiwan, but we are still doing our best on our rounds and caucuses.
Yes, sir. Maraming salamat po, and we are very honored to have you here. And we're here, syempre, mga kabataan, yung mga kabatch natin.
Tama.
Sir, Sir Levi, you prefer to be called Levi or Lloyd po? By your friends?
Levi na lang.
Levi.
Yeah.
So lahat sila ang tawag sa'yo, Levi. Yan.
Yes.
Kung nakakalimutan, Levi. Yan po. So Levi, kapag narinig mo ang word na anyangay, ano po yung unang pumapasok sa inyo?
Siyempre tinatanong tayo, ano na nga? Ano na nga ba? Ano na? So there's a question of what's happening, what's the status?
Yes.
So always a good question when it comes to knowing better other people and what they do.
Yes. Ang sarap ng pagkasabi ni Sir Levi, ano na nga ba? Ano na? Diba? Very endearing talaga. Alam mo pa, Sir Levi, ang goal ko, maging national term ang anyangay.
Okay. Hindi yan malayong mangyari.
Maging household
Pwede.
word yan ng mga Pilipino, anyangay. Opo. Sir, kayo po ay pinanganak dito po sa Baguio.
Yes, born and raised in Baguio City.
Naalala mo pa yung hospital mo?
Yes, BG. Pwede bang sabihin nyo?
Pwede, BGH.
BGH.
BGH ako. At nabinyagan kayo sa...
Immaculate Conception Parish Church ng Aurora Hill.
Kawalaan ko si Father Rorioda yan.
Oo. Bakit alam mo?
Kasi doon din ako nabinyag.
Ay, ganon?
Taga-Aurora Hill kami dati.
Saan doon?
Oo, sa Bugal yun.
Okay.
Kapitbahay ko si Auntie Lulu.
Okay.
Tapos kalaro ko sila, Michael. Kaya nung may event, nagkita tayo doon one time.
Okay.
Yung mga taga-dating. Nagsakristan din ako doon. Nagsakristan ka ba?
Hindi, pero nag-serve tayong commentator, reader, choir.
Nakakamiss din si Father, Si Father, oo.
Marami na tayong daanan na pari dyan. Very
talaga?
naman. Kasi nag-start ako, since nag-high school tayo sa school na yan, sa St. Louis, Aurora Hill.
Oo, Esla.
Sa ESLA. Maraming pari na yung naging school parang director doon. So,
okay.
we are active naman sa church as reader, commentator, lectors, choir. So, nagsaserve tayo kasaming ating mga teachers and other students.
Matagal ka nag-serve sa church?
Yeah, more than siguro. More than 6 years.
Tagal?
Kasi for high school, every year. And then after my high school years, nagtuloy pa din ako na nagka-choir before I get the job. Bago ko nakakuha ng trabaho, active tayo doon. Pero nung nagkaroon na tayo ng trabaho, and other responsibilities, medyo nabawasan yung ating role sa
normal
church.
naman yun. At least nung kabataan natin, unang nag-serve tayo sa simbahan. Are you a religious person or sakto lang?
Religious person. Kasi ang lola namin, maliliit pa lang kami, naturoan na kami kung paano magdasal ng rosary, naturo na sa amin ng Litany of the Blessed Virgin. Memorize namin yun actually. Lahat ng prayers sa simbahan natin, sa Katoliko, ay halos memoryado na naming lahat.
Wow. At an early age.
At an early age. We know how to pray the rosary. Alam namin ng mysteries per day.
Wow.
We do prayers for the family every afternoon, every evening, every day when we were young kids sa bahay.
Wow, that's nice to know. Kapag kayo po ay naglalakad sa sa Aurora Hill, so nakikilala kayo ng tao kasi palagi kayo nasa simbahan doon.
Yeah, oo. Dahil isa nga tayo doon sa mga nag-train ng other students ng school na maging readers and commentators, nakilala naman tayo. Lalo na yung mga frequent churchgoers natin na lagi tayong nakikita doon na nagsaserve. Together with the active senior citizens and mothers na nando doon, They greet me and I also greet them. So it's a very harmonious relationship among different age groups na meron na nagsiserve sa church
Totoo. So
natin.
nakita ka ng mga taga Aurora Hill na lumaki.
Yeah.
Oo, din. No? So batang Aurora Hill talaga.
Correct.
You know, I would say that I had a very happy childhood sa Aurora Hill. Kasi doon ako sa Doña Nicasia nag-aral.
Okay.
Nung elementary ako. Oo, hindi pa ganun yun. Very open pa yan. Kayo po, sa kayo nag-elementary?
Ako yung nag-elementary sa iba't ibang eskwelahan. So when I was in grade 1, I was at Mary Immaculate Nursery School. Then when I was in grade 2 and grade 3, nasa Doña Aurora Elementary School naman ako.
Okay. Malapit lang sa inyo.
Malapit lang sa amin, walking distance lang. And then grade 4, I went to Olongapo City Elementary School. And then grade 5 and grade 6, Josefa Carino Elementary School.
Sa likod ng City Hall.
Yes.
Actually, hindi ko pa nga alam eh. Mas kilala ko yung isang school doon.
Baguio Central School.
Yung medyo malaki.
Yeah.
Oo, mukhang palasyo.
Yeah.
Oo, kung magkakamali ka, akala po natin yun ng City Hall.
Mukhang mukha, magkapareho sila.
Oo, then. Tapos doon ka nag-elementary. Maalala mo yung mga kaklase mo? Ang daming school nun.
Oo, maalala ko pa man. Pero hindi na ganoon
Ka-vivid yung mga names nila.
Nila. Siguro mga Palayaw. First name, hindi ko na masyadong ma-recall yung kanilang complete names. Pero pag nakita ko sila, I can recognize them naman. Easily.
Not like kapag grade 1 to 6 ka, maalala mo talaga yon kasi araw-araw mo sila.
Yeah.
Bakit palipat-lipat kayo?
Because of family preferences din ng parents ko noon. So I don't know since I cannot recall kung ano ang discussion nila, unang usapan nila, unang agreement nila.
Yes.
Basta when I was enrolled to a particular school, sige, nandun na tayo. But we are always aiming to finish our studies. Ngayon nga lang, naiba-iba ako ng eskwelahan. But again, natapos naman natin ng maayos yung pag-aaral natin.
Mas maraming
years.
friends.
Mas maraming friends, mas maraming network.
Oo. Ang isang leve or college ba ay mahirap makapagkaibigan ng kabataan ninyo? Or mahiyain ka?
Correct. Actually, nung kabataan ko, nung bata-bata pa tayo, medyo introvert tayo. Medyo ayoko nakiki-engage sa ibang tao. Mas gusto kong nasa bahay. Mas gusto kong busy ako on my own, doing something. Wala ako masyadong engagement with other people. Yun lang. Bahay, school, yun lang. Church, and barangay. Yung barangay hall, I mean. Hanggang doon lang tayo
You
umiikot.
are with barangay sa Aurora Hill?
Yeah, South Central Aurora Hill.
South Central. Malaki ding barangay yun, ano?
Relatively. Pero small barangay siya comparing to the different barangays of the city.
South Central, saan banda yun sa Aurora Hill?
Ito yung sa may church natin, sa
Yung
Ledesma.
may Skinita papasok.
Yeah, oo. Tabi lang mismo ng simbahan.
Oo.
So hindi nalalampasan yung church. So you go
But there's a street
left.
going down.
Papasok na yon. Interior road siya.
Okay. Mahaba din yun.
Mahaba din kahit papaano, pero dead-end na sa dulo. On the other side naman is the National Road Highway, which is the National Road na Rimando Road. So both ends, kabilaan yan, the entirety of our barangay.
Okay. Naalala ko may kaklase ako doon. Oo, kasi most ng mga kaklase ko after nung elementary nagpunta ng ESLA.
Okay.
'Di ba? So ikaw po, kamusta ang ESLA life mo?
Okay naman, doon naman ako na kumpleto na nag-aral. Unlike in my elementary years na nagkaroon ako ng 4 na eskwelahan. Itong sa high school natin, isa lang, which is St. Louis School of Aurora Hill. At from first year to fourth year, dyan tayo nag-aral. Very nice, good experience din naman. At marami din tayo nakilala mga kaibigan. At ngayon, mga professionals na rin who are contributing to the economy and to the city of Baguio.
And to the community.
And to the
Sino po
community.
yung mga makikilala namin na mga kabatch mo?
Sino kaya? Kasi ang school naman namin is not like the big schools like the City High. Dito, we are a diocesan school.
That's a private school.
Yeah, it's a private school.
By St. Louis as well.
Yeah, it's a sister school ng
Of
ating
St.
St. Louis University.
Tama.
But ang ating eskwelahan is a diocesan school. So, it's a school that also has alignment or affiliation with the Roman Catholic Church.
Yes.
So na-instill sa amin yung religious part ng aming pamumuhay, which is on Roman Catholic. So na ituro sa amin not only in terms of extracurricular activities but also formal education. Kasi sa mga subject namin sa eskwelahan ng high school noon, meron tayong tinatawag na Christian Living Formation. So, doon ina-instill sa ating mga estudyante, isa rin tayo naging estudyante doon, yung pamumuhay batay sa ating pananampalataya.
Tama. Parang theology.
Yes, pero hindi rin naman nakafocus doon kasi like other schools in the other barangays in the city of Baguio, nakafocus din for academic excellence. So different subjects that contribute to our capacity as a academic achiever din naman.
Tama. Nako, siguro pagkatapos ng ma-air itong show natin, ang daming mag-enroll sa ESLA. Parang napakasarap mag-aral doon.
Oo, masarap mag-aral kasi we try to balance academic requirements with the extracurricular na emphasize din doon yung need for our students to have an opportune time para naman sa sports, sa arts, sa literacy.
So balance naman siya.
Balance naman siya. And it's closer to our community. Kaya parang we protect and we ensure that the children, the students, the teachers, and the school itself is part of our communities and of our lives.
Tama. Napakagandang community ng Aurora Hill.
Yes,
Malaki siya.
correct.
Pang ilang pinakamalaking barangay ang Aurora Hill?
Ang Aurora Hill kasi, Sir Bench, is...
bench na lang po.
Bench. Bench is...
Kung ayaw yun ng bench, Lord.
Oo. Ang ating community ay Aurora Hill. Nahati pa siya sa 13 barangays.
I know.
Yeah.
Ang laki.
Kaya yung barangay ko doon, as barangay captain ng South Central Aurora Hill, is only one barangay sa collective term na tinatawag nating Aurora Hill.
Oo.
So, kung yung barangay ko lang, strictly, South Central Aurora Hill, it's a small barangay.
Oo.
Pag yung kabuuan ng Aurora Hill, yung tinawag natin, malaki siya.
Pang ilang pinakamalaki ang Aurora Hill sa mga barangay? Siyempre, ang numero 1 ang Irisan.
Yes, correct. Irisan. I think siguro nasa top 20 siguro or 15.
May mas malaki pa.
Marami pang mas malaki. Oo, actually.
Okay. Hindi kasi ako masyado lumilibot. At ikaw ngayon, lumilibot ka.
Correct. Nalibot na natin yung mga iba't ibang barangays ng Baguio. Kaya nakita natin, house to house tayo, pinapasok natin yung mga skinita, yung mga pakyat na hagdan, yung mga pababang hagdan. Nakita natin na ang laki pala ng Baguio.
Malaki. Malaki ang Baguio. Ang nakikita lang kasi natin yung mga main roads nila. Oo. Nung kabataan po ninyo, sabi niyo po, school bahay, kahit nung high school kayo, usually po kapag sinabing batang Baguio, mahilig sa mga larong kalye.
Correct.
Naglalarong kalye din po kayo?
Naman, oo. Meron kaming mga, nakasama ko yung mga pinsan ko rito, nandito din sila ngayon.
Ay, mga pinsan pala yan.
Mga cousin ko rin sila.
Napakaganda ng lahi ninyo.
Oo. Sa barangay namin, merong road kasi na pababa.
Yes.
So, ginagawa namin siyang slide.
Ay, alam ko yan. Ano ang slide mo? What's your preference sa slide?
Ang maalala ko noon, basta kukuha kami ng gumamela.
Gumamela ka.
Pampadulas namin doon sa ginagamit namin plyboard para mga ganyan. Nakiki-slide kami doon. Tapos mahilig kaming
Ano ang break mo? Ano ang pinagagawa mo?
Chinelas.
Kaya ubos agad ang chinelas.
Yun kasi from the church, alam ng mga nakadaan na sa barangay natin yan, yung Immaculate Conception Church, papasok ng ating barangay, pababa.
Pababa talaga
Kaya kapag nag-slide ka, dire-diretso ka doon.
Yes,
And aside from that, naghahanap din kami ng mga walking stick. Yung mga insects
yung walking stick na yan.
Ngayon wala na siya.
Ang walking stick?
Yung insects. Wala na yung part na yun. Naging bahay na siya.
Okay. Sa Camp John Hay, marami pa niyan. Mamaya pag-usapan natin Camp John Hay kung anong pananaw mo.
Okay.
Ang mga pinsa mo nakakalaro mo dati?
Yeah. Sila ang mga playmates ko dati.
Sino ba ang bully dyan?
Siguro yung mga mas matatanda sa amin.
Mas matatanda sa inyo. You have a very big clan.
We have a very big family.
The Braza and the
Orcales. Kasi the Braza is Zambales. Sa Olongapo City.
Sa
That's my mother's side.
Zambales is Ilocano, di ba?
Tagalog.
Tagalog. Alam paborito ko sa Zambales. Hindi ko na kung saan to. Basta malalampasan ko yung bahay ng old house ng dating presidente. I think Macapagal.
I
Oo.
think that's Pampanga.
Pampanga side
Oo,
yun.
kay Diosdado Macapagal.
Yes,
former
oo,
president.
oo,
I think
oo.
Lubao ata siya if I'm not mistaken.
Tapos may
Some part doon.
may dagat doon sa taas. Ang paborito ko sa Zambales, meron silang mangga na kinakain together
Yeah,
with
oo.
sticky rice.
Ah,
o
oo.
rice, oo.
Pero sa amin kasi doon sa Olongapo, medyo rural part yung sa amin. Although it's a highly urbanized city, nandun kami sa medyo dulong part ng Olongapo City. Ang barangay namin is Old Cabalan.
Kabalan.
Oo, doon kami nakatira with the mother, the family of my mom. Doon sa Zambales, Olongapo City in particular. It's a highly urbanized city pero mukhang bundok din siya eh. Bundok din yung part na yon kaya maraming puno, maraming mangga.
Yes.
At
Mangga talaga marami.
Mangga talagang marami doon tsaka kasoy at langka.
I love kasoy. Tsaka langka. Pero konti lang nakakain ko sa langka. Marami ka nakakain
Marami kasi almost parang favorite na nga namin yun eh.
Ang init sa katawan nun.
Yun lang.
Oo, pinsan yan ng durian eh.
Oo, nasanay naman na kami doon kasi
Oo.
parang regular at usual na sa amin na kinakain namin.
Tuwing summer, umuwi kayo doon.
Yes, summer. Since nung nagkaroon na ng family ang mother ko dito sa Baguio, dito sila nag-meet ng aking father. Pumupunta kami ng Olongapo City every summer and every Christmas. Yan.
Oo. Ang mga Orcales ay from?
Orcales is originally from La Union. Nagilian.
Malapit lang.
Malapit lang, kay
Oo,
Ilocano.
Sobrang
Ilocano
lapit.
rin.
Oo. Madami tayong kaibigan dyan. Oo. Tawag nito, growing up with your mother is, anong ginagawa ng iyong mother?
Okay, ang mother natin, si Sheila Orcales.
Sheila?
Sheila Orcales. She was an OFW before
Cool.
for 9 years
Ang tagal.
sa Saudi Arabia. Oo. Kami, hindi naman kami pinanganak na mayaman.
Oo.
At ganon din yung parents ko naman. So, they have to work and to ensure that we meet the needs of our everyday requirements. So, aside from school, sa lahat yan. So, si mother ay isang domestic helper sa Saudi Arabia for 9 years. And si father ko naman, Ferdinand Burillo Orcales.
Murillo,
yes. Burillo Orcales. Maaga siyang nagpunta sa langit because of a disease. Chronic kidney disease siya.
Ilang taon ka nun nung
I think I was in
namayapa mo yung
grade 5.
Ang
Grade
aga.
5 ako noon. Kaya pinalaki
I think
ako
he's
ng
about
single mom.
30 plus siya. Nung
40. Almost 39, 40, something like that. Kaya pinalaki ako ng isang solo parent.
And your mom is very strong, I guess.
Yeah. Kasi kailangan yung harapin yung mga yon because she did not finish college. So wala siyang bachelor's degree. Wala siyang ganun. So she can work only with those type of particular jobs na hindi kailangan yung
mga degree.
Kaya siya naging domestic helper sa Saudi Arabia for 9 years.
Ilang kayo magkakapatid?
Dalawa
sir?
lang.
Dalawa. Okay, ikaw ay
Ako ng panganay.
nauna. At ang nasaan po yung sumunod sa inyo?
Ayan, sa bahay din.
Sa
The
bahay.
same residence with us sa South Central Aurora Hill din.
Okay, batiin niyo po.
Hello, aking kapatid. Hindi ata siya makakanood ngayon kasi nagde-deliver siya. My brother is a delivery rider.
Nice. And batiin din po natin yung mga sa barangay yun tsaka sa Aurora Hill.
Yan, binabati natin lahat ng nanonood ngayong gabi dito sa programa ni Bench.
Anyangay with
Anyangay.
us. Yes.
Sa mga taga South Central at sa buong Aurora Hill community, magandang gabi sa inyong lahat.
Yes, hindi na po buong Aurora Hill po, buong Baguio nanonood tayo. At ang kasama po natin ngayon ay si Sir Levi Orcales. At kanina lang po, narinig po natin kung saan ang humble beginnings ni Sir Levi. Pero meron po tayong isang interesting na nabanggit ni Sir. Pero if you don't mind me asking, Sir Levi, papaano po mapalaki na dalawa kayo ng isang single mom?
Yun nga din yung tanong ko dati nung bata ako. Paano kaya kami napalaki ng isang nanay na solo parent? Yung mother natin kasi, sanay din naman sa trabaho.
Opo.
Kasi from Olongapo City, ang kwento niya, Sinamahan niya yung lolo ko, her father, na pumunta dito para maghanap ng trabaho.
Work. Oo.
May lolo, sa mother side ko, si Jose Archibald Brasa Sr., ay isang musician.
Ah.
So, nung panahon na yon, hindi ko maalala kung anong mga taon yon.
Oo.
Nung times na yon is very popular ang mga music lounges, yung mga
Yes. Oo.
mga banda-banda na saxophone, yung mga
Mga
the usual.
panahon ng songs.
panahon ng mga songs, mga
Oo.
jukebox, etc.,
Jukebox,
etc.
oo.
Yung lolo ko kasi isang player saxophone.
Hmm.
So isa siyang music icon na masasabi namin.
Yes. Oo.
Kasi may band sila noon ng kapatid niya na lolo ko din.
Dito sa Baguio.
Pumunta sila dito.
Oo.
Si lolo ko pumunta dito, sinama yung mother ko.
Oo.
So si mother, siya nagtrabaho na parang waitress. So nagpunta ang tatay ko doon para kumain, nag-order, doon na sila nag-meet
Nagkakilala.
ng nanay ko. So
Oo.
nagsettle na dito yung parents natin.
Ang ganda ng storya ng buhay
Oo,
mo.
natanong ko pa nga yun.
Oo, napakaganda. Actually, umpisa pa lang, I'm sure marami nang mai-inspire sa atin. Ako'y natutuwa na maging guest kayo ngayon. Kasi ako I was also raised by I am raised by a single mother. Yung father ko rin, maagang pumanaw, sa sakit din.
Okay.
Oo, tapos manag-shotgunin ni Papa ko. Kaya kayo po, wag masyadong iinom. Drink responsibly tsaka
Yes,
moderately.
correct.
Tapos 6 kami.
Mas marami kayo sa amin.
Oo, puro
Kami dalawa
bugoy.
lang kami.
Puro bugoy kami.
Ah.
Tsaka kaya malapit ang mga ang puso ko sa mga single parent.
Okay.
Oo. Do you have an advocacy for single parents?
Yeah, actually, since ako'y pinalaki ng isang solo mom or single parent, hindi naman kasi enough na nagbibigay lang tayo ng short-term assistance or programs para sa kanila. What we need are long-term economic solutions kasi ito kailangan nila para masiguro na they can provide for their children at yung ibang mga kamag-anak na umaasa pa din sa kanila.
Tama.
So despite the fact that they are earning solely na mag-isa, kailangan magbigay tayo ng programang makakasuporta sa kanila. So that in terms of economic programs, so dapat maging available mga sustainable livelihood programs na ating lungsod. Yung mga economic reforms na kailangan natin sa city na i-adapt, dapat magawa na natin na merong capacity ang city government of Baguio to provide capitalization to solo parents
Yes po.
na they can start up with their own small businesses.
Totoo yan.
Na hindi kailangang ibalik yung puhunan sa gobyerno. In this way, nagiging self sufficient ang
Yes,
ating mga solo parents na
tama.
hindi magkakaroon ng malaking dependency when it comes to the programs as provided by the local
At
government.
hindi sila magkakaroon ng utang.
At hindi sila magkakaroon ng iisipin na may babayaran
Kasi
sila
yun ang
monthly.
nangyayari ngayon Niloloan ng gobyerno tapos binabayaran.
Correct. Dati may programs na gano'n.
Meron.
I think ngayon, kinonvert na natin and we believe that it is much better
Ang
to
galing.
sustain such program na yung sustainable livelihood programs natin na nagpo-provide ng capacity aside from capitalization is to include capacity as well.
Yes,
Yung
oo.
training nila on how to ensure na yung small business nila will remain to be open for the next 3 years, 5 years,
Tama.
10 years na
Tama.
hindi lang siya for today or after a week para masiguro that they can provide for the needs of their children.
Oo, tama. Ang mga trainings po nito ay nasa local governments natin or they have to go to a certain facility to train themselves?
Our advocacy is that we maximize the available resources that we have. Hindi naman laging unlimited ang resources ng local government.
I agree.
I think and I strongly believe that with the support of other government agencies such as TESDA, such as Department of Labor and Employment,
TTI.
such DTI, and marami pang
UST,
government agencies
mga
and
ganun.
other non-government organizations who are very much into promoting economic programs and relief
galing.
to
Yeah.
our community. So we can tap these particular agencies that they can provide kung po pwede, free na trainings for the solo parents.
For the
naman.
solo parents. Totoo po yun. Kayo po ay nagkolehiyo saan?
Tayo po ay nag-college sa University of the Philippines, Baguio. So nagtapos tayo dyan noong taong 2016.
2016. Ako, recently lang.
Recent. Correct, recent.
Very, anong course nyo, sir?
Mahaba ang course ko kasi.
Sige, sir.
Bachelor of Arts in Social Science, major in Economics, minor in Political Science.
Ang haba nga.
Mahaba.
Bakit? Parang 3 kurso yun.
Kumbaga
Paano
ganun
nangyari
eh. Very unique kasi ang University of the Philippines Baguio. Comparing it with other constituent universities ng UP at ng other universities.
Okay.
In UP Baguio kasi, nakafocus sila sa programs that provides for comprehensive view when it comes to social science. Kaya sa college namin, College of Social Science, hindi lang siya simply history. Hindi lang siya simply economics.
Yes.
Meron kaming core courses, meron kaming major at may minor kami. So, the university believes that it is a more comprehensive way on how to come up with better perspective on different social issues.
Correct.
Kasi alam niyo naman ang UP
Tama,
is mulat sa katotohanan na binabanggit natin na nakikialam, nakikibahagi.
Totoo.
At isa sa thrust, university thrust ng University of the Philippines Baguio is on social involvement, social sciences, human behavior, and why we do the things we do. So, yun ang napagtapos natin na kurso, social science, economics, political science.
Wow, ang galing naman. Oo. After ng college, ano po yung nagtrabaho po kayo kaagad?
Actually, nagtrabaho tayo kaagad 2016 when we graduated. Na-hire naman tayong isang paralegal sa legal department sa isang company dyan sa John Hay. So, naging paralegal tayo, naging support staff tayo ng legal department. At after a year, kasi kailangan natin humanap ng greener pasture kasi we have to ensure na meron tayong savings for our future and to support also yung ating family, my brother and my mom and my grandparents as well. Nagtuloy tayo at naghanap ng ibang trabaho, and after a year working as a paralegal dun sa legal department dyan sa John Hay, we served as a program coordinator and then as instructor and then school director ng isa. Nagturo ako ng very brief moment sa Educare College Incorporated. This is a school sa Irisan.
Irisan.
Yeah. Ang naging una kong trabaho doon is to convert yung curriculum ng eskwelahan kasi basic education lang ang ino-offer nila. But the owner and the president, CEO of the school would like to make a daring innovation na magkaroon ng college or tertiary school sa Irisan. So, kinonvert natin yon through our, yun po yung obligation ko noon as a program coordinator na naging Educare College na siya for at this moment. However, they're not yet offering tertiary courses. So, nagturo tayo doon ng junior high school and senior high school. And then, after that, concurrent school director din ako ng school.
Ay, wow. Matanong, if you don't mind me, sir, ilang taon na po kayo?
Hindi ako ng tubig. Ako ay 29 years old.
29. At yung pananaw nyo sa buhay ay napaka-matured.
Yeah, oo. Kasi siguro dahil nga, yun nga, hindi naman tayo pare-parehong estado na ipinanganak.
Correct.
So sa amin, ang buhay naman namin, hindi naman kami marangya. So kailangan talagang pagsumikapan yung mga bagay na kailangan namin at yung gusto naming ma-achieve. So we have to work for it. And a very young age, doon na ang naging mentality natin na we have to exert effort. We have to ensure that meron tayong ginagawang mga pamamaraan para yung nais nating makamit na pamumuhay o uri ng pamumuhay, marating natin.
Amaze. Actually, ang tawag ko sa mga audience natin, mga kaanyangay, bihira po ako ma-amaze sa mga mas nakakabata sa akin. I am a decade older than you. And then, bihira po ako ma-amaze talaga. And nakakatuwa at nakaka-inspire makipag-usap sa isang nakakabata sa akin na ang pananaw sa buhay ay very advanced at napakatalino niya. At makikita po natin na talagang seryoso siya sa craft niya. Matanong ko, sir, your family background is very religious, tapos nagsilbi ka pa sa community church natin. Hindi mo ba naisipang magpare?
Ay, hindi naman.
Agad.
Naisip ko na.
Ay, hindi naman.
I'm very sure of that. Although we are a religious family, nanggaling tayo sa teachings ng aming lola. Gusto rin natin magka-family, of course. So, yung teachings din natin from our grandparents, sa aunties and uncles namin
Mm.
and my parents as well.
Mm.
Gusto rin nating magkaroon ng ma-impart din natin yung values at saka
Totoo.
yung characteristics na imbibe sa amin para maibigay din namin sa next generation.
Sa kasalukuyan ba, ang isang Levi or Callis ba ay is into a relationship now?
No,
No,
wala
single.
na. Yeah, single since birth.
Nako. Ay! Yung gusto mag-apply kay Sir Levi, andito siya. Andito siya. Ano bang hinahanap natin sa isang partner?
Kailangan mature. Oo, kailangan mature kasi
Huwag yung
kailangan
pabebe.
hindi pwede yung kanon.
Hindi pwede pa.
Disqualified na yun. Kailangan matured na tayo tapos merong capacity naman as well na magkaroon din ng contribution sa community kasi that's what I've been doing.
Oo.
What I have been doing. Hindi naman po pwede bigla pag magkaroon tayo ng asawa or relationship, bigla na lang ako nawala sa community. That's where I belong.
Totoo yan.
So kailangan magkaroon din kami ng na compatible din naman sa what we do, what I do. I don't do simply because I have an obligation to do it because I want to do
It's
it.
your passion.
It's our passion.
Tumulong.
And
Mula
our
nung
commitment just the same.
nakikita ko sa mga conversation natin kanina is parang bata ka pa lang, gusto mo nang magsilbi sa community.
Yeah, I think so. Kasi parang nung nag-start kasi tayo sa SK chairman ng barangay natin at the very young age of 15 years old. So nung napasok na tayo sa government, particularly sa barangay, as the representative ng mga youth, nakita natin doon na meron naman palang capable systems ang government that we have to utilize lang and maximize para yung government resources that is coming from the taxes of our people ay may balik sa kanila through effective and efficient programs. So, kailangan yun yung ating mentality when we view the government. So, gusto natin na ma-ensure na hindi tayo shortchanged na kapag meron tayong pinoprovide na services and programs to our people, most especially those who have less in life, dapat ma-ensure natin na we give 100%. So, there's no way that we get a portion of ourselves or portion for our personal gain. So, dapat ganun kasi ang mentality. A very young age, na-establish ko na yung ganung mindset.
Tama. Papaano ba makasali? Kasi I'm sure marami tayong kabataan na nanonood dito at nai-inspire po sa istorya ng buhay ninyo. Papaano ba sila makasali sa SK?
Okay. Ang SK kasi or the Sangguniang Kabataan as provided by law, marami tayong batas dyan. It started with the Local Government Code, then naging SK Reform Act, and then amendments to the SK Reform Law. Sinasabi kasi kailangan magkaroon ng filing of certificate of candidacies like the barangay election, like our local government elections that is happening right now.
So, kailangan residente
Residente ka
barangay na yun.
ng barangay na yun. And then you're capable of reading and writing at wala namang other requirements aside from those. Originally, yun ang system ng SK natin. So, kailangan mong mag-file ang kandidatura mo, kailangan mong tumakbo, at kailangan kang mabotohan ng majority of the residents. Pero specifically from the youth sector.
Oo, tama. Youth sector, teka, 18 and above ang bumoboto sa mga ganun, di ba?
Yeah, actually,
Pagdating sa SK.
nag-iba kasi ang definition natin ng youth by law. Nung unang system kasi ng SK natin, ang definition ng youth natin is those 15 to 17 years
Yun
old.
nga, oo.
During my first term as SK chairperson noong 2010.
Opo.
So yun ang definition natin. So ang boboto lang sa'yo para maging SK official ka ay yung 15 to 17. Nung na-amend kasi yung law na yan, nag-iba yung definition natin as per age. Ang age ngayon ng youth as defined by law are those ages 15 to 30.
Okay.
Yun yung mga kabataan na
Hindi pa
tinatawag
rin ako
natin.
umabot.
Ako malapit na akong graduate doon. Pero yun yung naging definition natin na ginagamit natin as of this moment.
Okay.
But meron pang further classification yun, Bench. Yung 15 to 17, since they are minors, they cannot yet run for office.
And they
Pinalitan
can't
na.
vote.
They can vote.
They can.
They can vote for SK,
SK, oo.
but they cannot run for office.
Okay.
And then yung 18 to 30 years old, lahat sila pwedeng bumoto for SK. However, yung 18 to 24, sila lang ang pwedeng tumakbo.
Okay. So, ikaw ay nanalo na SK sa barangay ninyo.
Yes.
Sa Aurora Hill ba, di ba, there are 13 barangays. Nagpupulong-pulong din ba yung mga SK doon para mag-represent ng SK ng Aurora Hill?
Ay,
Mayroon din
actually,
kayong presidente doon?
yeah, actually, ang very unique sa Aurora Hill, among the 128 barangays ng Baguio is that sa Aurora Hill, although we are 13 barangays, meron kaming tinatawag na Association of Barangay Councils of Aurora Hill.
Ang galing.
At merong ding representation doon ang mapipili ng mga SKs from the 13 barangays na parang president din nila.
Wow.
So, there is proper representation na among the youth, meron ding SK parang president representing
Yes.
the entirety of Aurora Hill, which is again 13 barangays.
Opo.
And then, on the counterpart naman ng barangay officials, yung mga kapitan, kagawad, meron naman yung ABCA na tinatawag
Yes.
namin.
Opo.
So, yun yung organization or entity na yung mga nauna sa amin na mga barangay leaders ng Aurora Hill, sila ang nakapag-conceptualize niyan. Hanggang ngayon, very active ang
Ginagawa
ABCA.
pa rin yun.
Ginagawa pa rin siya.
So kayo po ang naging SK leader ng buong
Noon.
Aurora Hill? Naging kayo?
Noon, nung SK tayo ng taong 2010 to 2013. Pero last year, ako ang naging presidente ng Association of Barangay Councils of Aurora Hill.
Yung APCA nga.
Yung
Oo.
APCA.
Tapos, after nung sa Aurora Hill, kayo po ay magpupulong-pulong buong Baguio naman.
Yeah.
Oo, buong Baguio naman yun yung SK
Federation.
Federation. Na kayo po ang nahalal na presidente nun.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yes,
okay.
we were elected na SK Federation President from 2018
Oo.
at natapos yung term natin ng 2023. So almost 6 years tayo in office at
Opo.
naging ex-officio councilor tayo because of that.
Yes, oo.
Kaya naging mahaba, extensive naman ang ating experience when it comes to public
Public
legislation,
service, yes,
public service, policy making, and providing for programs from the city going to the different communities ng ating
You
lungsod.
must be very, very famous to be voted as the president ng SK. Kasi mga kabataan yan di ba? May kanya-kanyang mga, mga, how do I say, may mga kanya-kanya silang gusto maging
Yeah,
presidente.
correct,
At kayo ang nahalal.
Correct. Pero the system of the SK Federation is different from the usual elective positions natin sa city. Kasi ang mga elective positions natin like the mayor, vice mayor, councilor,
Opo.
elected at large yan. So lahat ng eligible to vote can vote. However, when it comes to the SK Federation, kung sino lang yung elected SK chairperson
Yes,
per
oo.
barangay, the 128 barangay, sila lang ang merong capacity.
Yes.
May right to vote and to elect their SK Federation president.
Nagka-campaign din kayo dyan?
We also did
Sa
campaign.
kanila? Sa mga
Sa kanila.
ka-SK ninyo?
Yes, we also did campaigning para naman ilatag natin yung platforms natin. Kaya ilang taon na akong lumalatag ng plataforma, ilang taon na akong sumasali ng eleksyon, ilang taon na tayo nabobotohan, kaya hindi na bago sa atin
Totoo
yung
yan.
system ng government. Kaya during that time, hindi naging madali yon because we have to deal with other competitors natin who are also equally capable.
Oo.
But fortunately, we were able to convince the majority of the 128 barangays. Kaya I was elected as the president.
Ano pang pakiramdam na maging is presidente ng SK Federation?
Actually, it's a very surreal experience na parang we don't expect really na magkaroon ako ng opportunity to be given that position and to be trusted with that particular support
Totoo.
among the young people of Baguio. And you said kanina nga, marami, very idealistic ang ating youth.
Cream of the crop yung mga bumoboto sa iyo mga representative ng kanya-kanyang barangay.
Correct. Yung generation naman namin, millennial, very
Oo.
iba na rin yung kanilang mindset and
Totoo yan.
behavior. So,
Oo.
we're very happy and we're very nakakatuwa. No?
Yes.
Full of gratitude that we were given the opportunity to lead them.
Oo. Actually, tuwan-tuwa din ako sa inyo ngayon, sir. Kasi I am so amazed sa journey ng buhay ninyo. Mamaya isa-summarize natin yan. Sir Levy, what inspired you to run for councilor, especially at your young age?
Okay. So, this is my second time running
Yes.
for councilor sa ating lungsod. We first attempted for a seat noong 2022.
2022.
So this question is not actually new na. So and for the past 15 years that I have been filing my candidacy, applying to be one of your public servants, hindi nagbabago yung mindset natin. Kung ano ang na kung ano ang naging mindset natin nung SK pa lang tayo, hanggang ngayon hawak-hawak at tangan-tangan natin. Ang nais natin is to provide the best, efficient, effective program services to our people. And nung naging counselor naman tayo, particularly as an ex-officio, as SK Federation President, is mas lumalim yung ating intent to ensure that the government is the best partner of our communities, na dapat we can provide
Correct.
the necessary support, unhampered,
Tama.
effective, efficient, na ma-maximize natin ang taxes ng tao na maibigay natin, lalo na yung mga hirap sa buhay. Kaya nga yung motto natin ngayon sa ating pagtakbong muli sa pangalawang pagkakataon is bigyan natin ng pagkakataong magtagumpay ang mga taong lumalaban ng patas sa buhay. So, ever since na nag-start tayong tumakbo, ang tinitignan natin is yung OPM. May tinatawag kasi akong OPM. O stands for the oppressed, P stands for the powerless, and M stands for the marginalized.
Ang ganda naman
So
yan.
those who have less in life shall have more in law, sabi
Yes.
nga natin.
Apo.
Kaya kaya at a very young age, napatunayan naman na natin from the past 15 years of experience natin that despite our age, we're also capable of contributing solutions to the community.
Tama.
Not only to barangays but also to the entire city of Baguio. Bakit hindi natin ipagpatuloy? Since that there's an opportunity for us to lead, why not?
Nung una kayong tumakbo, of course, you were 3 years younger then, di ba?
Yeah.
Oo. And sa tingin niyo po, ang pagiging youth leader is an edge ba sa pagtakbo para sa isang position sa government?
Yeah. Actually, it's a double-edged sword, no? Na hindi lang siya edge, no? It's also a disadvantage kasi based on my experience, nung tumakbo akong barangay kagawad at the age of 18, youngest barangay kagawad yun,
Ay, wow.
syempre people would ask you, bakit ka tumatakbo, ang bata-bata mo pa? Marami ka pang bigas na kakainin, kami papunta na, ikaw pa, pabalik na kami, ikaw papunta pa lang. Ano naman ang alam mong gawin sa barangay governance? Ano naman ang alam mong gawin sa gobyerno?
Ang cliche naman nila.
That's true actually. So, based on my personal experience,
oo.
yun yung naranasan natin ng mga tanong noon.
Oo.
So, we took the challenge. Tinuloy natin yung ating initiative to be a new alternate source of leadership in the barangay.
Tama.
We were elected. Nanalo tayong barangay kagawad nung 18 tayo.
Yes.
At nagawa naman natin ang maayos yung trabaho natin. Kaya nga, it's a double-edged sword. It's an advantage because we are more optimistic, we're enthusiastic, we are idealistic.
Yes.
Lahat na ng may stick, nandiyan na. So, naging innovative din tayo at saka nagbabago kasi ang panahon. So,
Totoo.
nagbabago din yung pangangailangan natin every year, every 2 years, every 3 years, every 5 years, every
Yes,
10 years.
yes.
So kailangan magkaroon din tayo ng changing mindset na hindi dahil yung subok na natin ginagawa noon, ng kapanahonan noon, ay pwede pa rin natin gamiting solusyon
siya
ngayon.
applicable
Nagbago na
ngayon.
nga ang
Tama,
ating,
oo.
nagbago na kasi yung pangangailangan natin.
Totoo yan.
Kaya nga, it's an advantage kasi yung bagong technology, yung new ways of thinking, yung new perspective in terms of dealing with the different different problems of the community, na meron sa ating mga kabataan.
Tama.
Because of data available in the internet. We are in a
yes.
big data epoch. And then meron naman yung tatanungin ka pa din, ang bata mo pa. Baka naman sa next ka na lang. So, yun pa din, meron pa ring somewhat reservation. Nung tumakbo ako ng 2022, yun yung sinubukan nating ma-break. And ito ngang 2025, nung nag-iikot na tayo sa iba't ibang barangay, engaging with the different communities, nagbago na siya.
Totoo.
Hindi na siya nag-stick doon sa paniniwala na
Dahil
bata ka,
Oo.
hindi mo pa kakayanin. Baka maging sunod-sunuran ka lang. Baka
Yun nga.
maging utos-utosan ka lang.
Yun nga yung next question ko. Representation lang ba ang mga kabataan sa council?
Yun ang maling pagtingin sa role ng mga kabataan. Well, of course, representation will always be part of what the young people of Baguio can do.
Yes.
Because they can speak up for the group. They
Yes,
can
their community,
stand
oo.
firm for the youth, for the community. Pero hindi lang limited sa representation because
Totoo.
our young people are also community mobilizers.
Oo.
Hindi lang sila spokesperson.
Yes.
They can start programs, activities. They have a lot of initiatives. Looking back at history, based on the recent history of Baguio din, ang daming nagkaroon ng initiatives na nagmula sa mga kabataan, sa mga estudyante na hindi lang tumatahimik. So alam niyo yan, across years of engaging with the young people and student leaders, they do not simply close their mouths. So when they hear something is wrong, when they believe that something is not working right, they speak out.
very
So
vocal.
that's why you can see them. You can see them in social media.
Yes.
You can see them along the streets. Pero hindi lang naman yon. So we should not compartmentalize the role and function of the young,
youth.
of the
Yes.
youth of Baguio simply as representation.
Totoo
But
yan.
that's an essential part. Aside from that, as community mobilizers, another as initiators, another as collaborators, another as leaders as well.
Yes, yes.
So napakalawak ng range and ng spectrum ng potential ng young people na it would be a discredit if we will simply
Oo naman.
compartmentalize dun sa
Oo naman.
representation.
Oo. Tsaka, nung generation, tsaka yung batch mo, ang daming mga kabataang nagiging leaders na at
Yeah,
nahalal.
correct.
Hence, Vico Soto.
Correct.
Diba? Who's younger? You or Vico?
I'm younger.
You're younger.
Yeah. I think Mayor Vico Soto is 35, mid something.
Yeah, something like that. Pero he
Something like
started young, diba?
She started young.
Oo. Ako kasi, naniniwala, parang sa Olympics yan, yung mga yung tawag ito, mga taga China, taga Singapore, yung mga atleta nila, batang-bata pa lang sila, 3 years old, sinasanay na nila.
Correct.
And here comes you,
Yeah.
na bata ka pa lang, sinasanay mo na yung sarili mo at alam mo na kung ano yung gusto mo
Yeah.
na since nung kabataan mo is to do public service.
Yeah.
Oo, yun yung nakikita ko sa conversation natin. Ikaw ay galing, Sir Levy, ikaw ay galing sa isang payak na pamilya.
Yeah.
Hindi naman marangya.
Correct.
So nakikita mo yung kailangan ng mga simpleng taga-Baguio.
Correct.
Especially sa mga youth.
Tama.
Pagdating po sa employment, ano po yung vision mo para sa employment and entrepreneurship po ng mga kabataan ng Baguio?
Okay, I think that we should start with how do we connect. Dapat magkaroon kasi ng complementarity kung ano yung mga naaral ng ating mga estudyante sa loob ng
Yes.
eskwelahan
Opo.
at kung ano yung mga available na market na pwede nilang pasukin. Kasi ang nagkakaroon kasi ng disjoint, hindi nagkakaroon kasi ng continuity na ang inaaral natin sa particular course pero pag graduate ka na hirap ka nang maghanap ng
Correct.
trabaho.
Kasi hindi yun yung skills
Hindi kasi
mo.
yun yung skill na
Oo.
natutunan mo. Kaya
Tama.
nag-iiba rin ang career.
Oo.
Nag-iiba ng career, napupunta na sa kung iba-ibang career ang ating mga estudyante, ang ating mga kabataan. Kaya importante na magkaroon ng continuity. For example, sa loob pa lamang ng eskwelahan bago magtapos ng elementarya or ng high school rather.
High school,
Kung anong pipiliin ng kurso sa kolehiyo, dapat magabayan natin yung
Yes.
mga kabataan natin. Kasi marami dati is kung ano ang nauuso, sinasabayan nila. Kung ano ang gusto ng kaibigan,
gusto
sinasabayan nila.
totoo
Kung
yan.
ano sa tingin nila,
Tama.
ang mas
Employable mga panahon
yun
na
yung
yun.
kukunin
Oo,
nila.
tama, oo.
Tulad ng nasabi natin kanina, nagbabago ang panahon natin. Kaya yung career guidance natin for our students dapat ma-establish na as early as possible. Mag-graduate pa lang sila ng 4th year high school or rather senior high school. So nagbago rin yan kasi nagkaroon ng K-12, etc.
Totoo.
Pero dapat hindi mawala yung opportunity for our learners, our students, na magabayan ng maayos when it comes to choosing the right path. Kasi when they enroll sa college, sa university, and they have been paying their tuition fee in the middle of the road, bigla na lang magbago yung isip nila so they will have to choose another course
Totoo.
na baka hindi nila ma-maximize yung resources ng family because hindi naman lahat kayang magbayad ng tuition fee
Sa pagiging doktor.
sa pagiging doktor,
oo.
sa lahat ng mga ito.
Oo.
Kaya I'm grateful kasi nakapasok tayo sa University of the Philippines. Kasi it's a public university, it's a
Totoo po
state
yan.
university.
Oo.
Wala kaming binabayarang tuition fee but we pay for miscellaneous fees. Kaya as yun yung isang advocacy natin na ma-institutionalize yung career guidance pa lang sa mga high school students natin. At gayon din when it comes to in Baguio kasi very unique tayo eh. If you're going to compare the city of Baguio with other highly urbanized city in the country, magkakaiba ang market demand, magkakaiba yung market natin dito. Very strong ang tourism natin industry.
Yes,
Very strong ang hospitality dito.
Yes, yes.
But other industries are not that strong as compared to other industries sa Manila. Like for example, siguro yung mass communication, napaka-prominent niyan sa Manila or
Yes,
sa NCR. Pero pag dito, na medyo hindi na nga natin mabanggit kung ilang station na ang nandirito kasi yung iba nawala na.
Correct.
Nag-close na nga ang ibang dyaryo. So, tinitignan natin. Karamihan ang mga dyaryo. Kaya dapat tinitignan natin yon. So, in terms of providing naman, we should look into the market. No? The
Yes.
government should also be capable of analyzing the market,
Totoo.
its demands, and kung ano yung potential ng market natin. So, I mentioned kanina na it's a tourism-driven economy, but not solely from tourism. We also have from education.
Yes.
So, maybe mas gusto nilang maging teacher or professors, instructors, etc., etc. But not limiting that advocacy to those particular approaches. Kailangan meron tayong economic unit ng ating city government
Correct.
capable of analyzing the market trend
Yes.
para makapag-provide naman ng support to those particular industries na may potential to provide employment
Tama.
to our graduating students. So,
Tama.
hindi malimit sa kung ano yung alam natin na trend, but scientifically and empirically stating, we capable tayong i-connect yung skills, potentials ng ating mga graduating students to the available market demand.
Tsaka yung skills nila.
Yeah,
Dapat
and yung
doon.
skills nila. So, hindi masasayang yung education nila.
Totoo yan. Totoo yan. Merong ano ngayon kasi, mabanggit ko lang pero we don't need to answer. Meron kasi ngayon na very controversial sa council natin na ayaw tanggapin yung binibigay na committee sa kanila dahil hindi sila expert doon sa ganong community. And ang sa akin lang, ang pananaw ko doon sa akin lang, ang pananaw ko doon is do not teach a fish to climb a tree. As well as do not teach the monkey to swim in the river. Kasi kanya-kanya set skills yan. Yun din yung inaano ko. Well, nabanggit ko lang. Naalala ko lang kasi yung last na interview ko. Ngayon po, sa mga kabataan po, ang dami at umuso na ang stress.
Yeah.
The word stress po. And sa mga, paano ba sasabihin natin? Ang mga biktima po ng depression ngayon is more po sa sector ng mga kabataan. Ano po yung kung sakali pong kayo ay nahalal sa konsehal, ano po ang programa natin tungkol dito?
You mentioned about mental
Yes,
health and generally speaking related to the overall health ng ating constituents. So, kung hindi nalalaman ng ating mga viewers ngayon, ako po ang isa sa main author ng Mental Health Ordinance of Baguio. Kaya advocate din tayo for mental health na we cannot come up or we cannot achieve overall health without mental health.
Totoo yan.
So that's our strong belief. Kaya nga essential ang programs natin for mental health, not only specific for the young people but also for those who are in need of the programs and services of our mental health program. So providing for available medications for mental health is one of the advocacies of our initiative noon. Hanggang ngayon yan pinaprovide ng Health Services Office. And then we also have counseling. We also have hotline, the mental health helpline that they can call na mayroong trained na volunteers ng mental health community and the Health Services Office who can respond and accommodate their calls and makapag-provide ng I think guidance or counsel. Meron din tayong program that we trained different individuals, professionals, and students na we partnered with a private center para matrain sila as sort of basic first aid.
Yes.
Pero in mental health, yung psychological first aid, I believe. So may train na tayong ganyan. And related to that is the overall health of our people. So importante na tingnan natin yung different aspects of health. It's a very comprehensive and a very wide-ranging aspect. So when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to food, when it comes to providing medicine and hospitalization assistance to those who are in need, kailangan comprehensive ang approach natin.
Yes.
Kasi again, if we will disregard the other components of comprehensive health and wellness, magkakaroon pa rin tayo ng lapses in terms of
Yes, apo.
dealing with the other concerns on health. So, I think yun yung core ng ating advocacy na we will continue with what we have started nung na-file natin at already approved ordinance and program. Sa ngayon, if our constituents who are watching right now would like to visit our mental health office, meron na tayo. The entire second floor dyan sa may T. Alonzo is mental
yun yung
health.
ginagawa.
Ngayon, currently,
Gawa na siya.
nandoon na sila naka-office.
Yes.
At napakalawak ng ating mental health support group. Napakalawak ng advocates natin for mental health.
Very true.
At hindi lang for mental health, for HIV and AIDS. So,
Doon
again,
din sa second floor na yon.
iba, nasa kabilang
Sa
building,
kabilang
naman
building
siya.
naman, oo.
Sa atin namang mga kababayan na nanonood din, tayo din po ang principal author ng HIV AIDS Prevention and
yes.
Awareness Ordinance of Baguio. Kaya nga, na pag-aralan natin ang mga datos, na pag-aralan natin yung sitwasyon. Kaya nagkaroon tayo ng approaches na ini-implement ngayon ng ating Reproductive Health and Wellness Clinic
Yes.
ng ating Health Services Office. So, hindi lang ito mga pangako kasi ito nangyari na.
I can
Na-accomplish
attest to
na natin
that.
ito.
Oo.
Kaya we are very much into advocating mental health, promotion of awareness in terms of HIV and AIDS,
Yes.
and of course, the overall health of our people.
Totoo.
So aside from mental health, HIV and AIDS awareness, meron din sa nutrition, meron din sa in terms of hospitalization support. So what we provide sa ating district health centers, we have 16 district health centers sa Baguio. We need to empower them. We need to provide more facility. We need to provide more equipment. And of course, yung medical professional who should be there
Yes.
and magkonsulta ang ating mga senior,
Totoo.
ang ating mga immunocompromised, ang ating mga hirap sa buhay, that they can go there for free, that they will not be thinking of magkanong babayaran sa injection, magkanong babayaran sa x-ray, magkanong babayaran sa ultrasound, and a lot more. So it requires a comprehensive perspective when we deal with the health
Yes.
and the overall wellness of our people. So yung mga nabanggit natin, hindi yan pangako, hindi yan foresee, but actually it is for continuity. Since we
Totoo.
were able to accomplish them, hindi pa tayo tumatakbo.
Totoo yan. Totoo yan. Actually, mga kaanyangay, I could attest to that kasi back during the pandemic days po, may programa kami tungkol sa mental health tsaka depression, yung mga models. Naalala mo yun?
Yeah.
Oo. And hindi ako nahirapan na maimbita si Sir Levy nga doon dahil yun po yung talagang advocacy niya. Isa sa mga totoong advocacy niya na totoo yung sinabi mo. I could attest to that. Honestly, attest to that na hindi lang siya salita. Talagang yun na yung ginagawa mo dati pa. Tsaka naalala ko, tatlo kasi kami nun. Ako, si Ricky Ducas, tsaka si Ingrid.
Yeah.
Oo, nilapit namin yung pagre-register ng mental health. Pero nawala ako sa eksena kasi naging busy ako sa business. Ngayon, ang bukang bibig palagi sa akin ni Ricky Ducas, kayo ho. Kayo po isang proponent. Tsaka tumulong sa amin na magkaroon ng access sa mga, hindi biro sa mga gamot, sa mga therapy. Hindi po biro ang ang gamot sa mental health. Oo, mahal yun.
I've tried kasi there's one time lumapit ako kay Ricky because of a lot of things happening
Oo.
in my personal life and our public service kasi at a very young age na-expose na tayo sa napakabigat na responsibilidad.
Sobra.
So, nagkaroon tayo ng anxiety before and I'm not ashamed to share it with our viewers
Same here.
kasi it's a reality
Totoo.
na hindi dahil we see people na kaya or okay physically.
Yes.
It does not mean na emotionally yung kanilang psychological, yung kanilang value systems medyo unstable.
Totoo po yan.
That's a reality. So
Oo.
we did not be ashamed
Oo.
of that reality. Kaya nga nung nagkaroon tayo ng anxiety before, pandemic din kasi 'yon.
Matagal ka nagka-anxiety.
A very brief moment lang kasi I
brief
was able
moment.
to cope up.
Ah.
Kailangan kong bumili ng meds sa pharmacy.
Mahal, di ba?
Mahal. At saka pumirma
oo.
ako ng...
Ang liliit lang nun eh. Ang
Oo.
mamahal. Oo.
Ang dami kong pinirmahan na papel bago ma-dispense sa akin yung gamot. So, it's not a simple way.
Process.
It's not a simple process. It's a
Oo,
serious
totoo.
matter. That's why our government and our medical professionals are taking it seriously.
Totoo.
So we hope ma-remove na yung stigma, yung discrimination, yung i-invalidate sa mental health ng
Yes.
ating mga constituents.
Yes. Direk, hingi ulit kami ng water.
Oo, medyo nag-ano na ulit.
Medyo madaldal ako masyado. Mabilis manuyo. Well, sige, i-focus mo muna sa akin, Direk. Yan, sige. Yan! Napakalaking revelation po nito mga kaanyangay na nagmula ang pagtulong ng advokasya ng mental health mula po sa initiatives po ni Sir Levy or Carlos po. And hindi po biro talaga ang magkaroon o tamaan ng depression at anxiety dahil nasabi po niya kanina na hindi po ganun kamura. Hindi po siya ganun ka-affordable po ang mga gamot nito. Naranasan ko po yan kasi ako po ay dumaan. Maaring dati po matagal po ako nawala sa pagkanta, sa hosting ko dahil dumaan talaga ako sa depression. Halos mga 4 to 6 months kong pinaglaban tong depression at saka anxiety po. Ako po, hindi rin po ako nahihiya na I was under medication dati. At kung wala po ang mental health na pinasulong po nila Sir Levy, nila Ricky Ducas, nila Ingrid, siguro hindi ko masusurvive ito. At malaking pasasalamat ko po sa inyo dahil natulungan niyo po kami magkaroon ng access. Ang Sir Levy, ayan, ang pinakamahirap kasi sa pagkakaroon ng depression na pinagdaanan ko ay yung stigma. Alam mo yung nag-reach out ako sa Facebook ko tapos tinawag pa akong bagtit.
Yeah.
Oo. Yan yung stigma doon eh.
Yeah.
Oo.
Tapos sa ngayon, hindi lang yung term na bagtit ang binabanggit ng iba kapag meron silang kakilala na nagsasabing I'm suffering, I'm in need of mental health program, support, etc., etc. Meron yung mga nagsabi na OA,
Yes.
overacting,
Oo.
nagpapapansin, which is not true.
Totoo yan.
Hindi yan totoo. Na pag may mental health need ka, sasabihin ng ibang tao sa'yo na overacting ka lang, nagpapapansin ka lang.
Totoo yan.
Those are forms of stigma and discrimination
Totoo
to
yan.
people who are actually have valid in need for mental health support. So hindi natin po pwedeng pabayaan yon. Kaya nga doon sa ating naipasa na ordinansa, na approved ordinance, is that we should use all government resources to discourage and to stop all forms of stigma and discrimination when it comes to mental health.
Totoo.
Kasi napapanood natin dati in TV, yung mga mismong mga kilalang tao pa doon ang magjo-joke.
Yes.
Na ginagawa nilang katawa-tawa. Hindi dapat ganun
dapat
yun.
Hindi.
And siguro dahil nagkaroon tayo ng strong mental health network dito sa Baguio City, tulad ninyo, ni Sir Ricky, ni Ma'am Ingrid, lumawak yung
Yes.
yung network
Kylie
natin as
Versosa.
well. Yeah. Lumawak yun at dumami ang ating mga mental health advocates.
Totoo
So,
po yan.
unti-unti nating nababawasan o
yung stigma
natatanggal
niya.
yung stigma, but meron pa din. Meron pa din. Kaya nga, dapat tuloy-tuloy.
Totoo.
At ma-empower pa natin ang ating mga government offices na mayroong advocacies for mental health. At tayo ding mga mental health advocates. So, dapat tuloy-tuloy tayo.
Totoo po yan. Sir Levy, flashback lang ako. In 2014, November, Three, I could say, I've always been saying this sa mga interview ko, that music saved my life. Dahil po, awan ko kung nabalitaan yun, noong 2014, nabaril po ako 3 beses. Tapos, na-hold up kasi ako. So, nakipaglaban ako sa loob ng sasakyan ko. Tapos, nakatakbo pa ako from kung saan ako nabaril, siguro mga 100 meters, nakatakbo pa ako.
Okay.
When I said music saved my life, because I studied voice lesson kasi that's yung everyday I do rehearsals sa breathing exercises ko. Kung hindi ako nag-breathing exercise dati at tumatakbo, yung nagja-jogging, nagsi-swimming para sa boses ko, hindi ko siguro maaabot yung pintuan ng bahay namin na nabaril ko 3 beses. Ang tanong ko po doon, ano po ang advocacy ninyo pagdating po sa mga creatives and young professionals and local talents po ng Baguio?
Okay, so the city of Baguio is a UNESCO creative city.
Yes.
We should embrace that. And I believe that with what is happening with the local government, meron tayong na-establish na Baguio Tourism Council. Marami tayong nagawang mga initiatives for tourism. But we focus more on creatives. On this particular response, first, we really need to acknowledge na ang dami nating creative minds dito sa lungsod ng Baguio. You have the singers, you have the dancers, you have performers, you have a lot, art, a lot.
May bago na nga ngayon yung mga nagbabasking na mga cosplayer.
Yeah. Sa akin yan is we need to embrace them. The second step we need to do is that after acknowledging and recognizing na meron sila, we should also be capable of responding to their needs. For example, if they need creative spaces, if they need more venues for co-working or collaboration, para naman ma-promote natin yung creativity ng ating mga residents. For example, what the government did when it comes to incorporating buskers sa ating pedestrianization of Session Road, which is known not only in the region but also outside CAR. So kailangan let's give opportunities for our creatives, for our artists to have that limelight din naman.
Magkaroon sila ng platform.
Yeah, magkaroon sila ng platform. So, I strongly believe that there is a need for us to construct a creative center.
Totoo yan.
No, kung saan pwede nating maging convergence space ito sa lahat ng ating creatives. May room for those who would like to aspire to sing, those who would like to aspire to dance, those who would like to enhance their skill, their talents when it comes to art, to painting, to acting, to a lot more. Meron silang space that they would feel that they're safe there. Na hindi sila pag-iisipan na minamaliit kasi nagpo-perform lang sa kalsada. But that's actually one way of empowering them, giving them the space, giving them the opportunity to express themselves. And the government, I believe, not only as a commitment to the UNESCO title of a creative city, we need to make it a reality na hindi lang siya title.
Naku, amen ako dyan.
That dapat, if there's need for funding support to particular programs and activities to enhance or to promote creatives, dapat meron yan. So, the more concrete advocacy na meron tayo is yung nabanggit natin kanina na creative center, a creative space.
You have a vision now where to put the creative center?
Yeah, it's actually incorporated with the plans of the city government right now with Mayor Benji na ini-introduce na natin yan. Ang gusto nga natin is ma-incorporate yung City Public Library doon sa creative center para magkatabi na lang siya. At this is a space for learning, a space for learning is not simply about reading books. We also enhance, we do learning with a lot more.
Totoo yan.
So it's the perspective of the city is doon sa available lot sa likod ng Athletic Bowl, sa side ng Athletic Bowl at sa side din ng City High. So the usual, old auditorium, the vacant lot there na maraming parking, na merong mga
So hindi na gagawin parking yun?
Actually,
meron pa rin.
There's a need for us to strategically identify specific locations in the city kung saan ilalagay ang mga parking buildings, which is incorporated sa plan ng Smart Urban Mobility Plan. However, that's still subject for study. It's not yet a done deal. So you have to analyze it further. But going back to the creatives, coming up with a safe space, a co-working space, a collaborative space for them to express their mas maging creative sila at ma-embrace natin ito, is meron silang matatawag na
Totoo yan.
haven natin.
nila. Totoo yan. Speaking of co-working space, kakatayo ko lang kasi ng bagong company ko. It's a co-working space for artists. It's in Quezon Hill po. Siguro mga nasa how do I say that? Siguro mga nasa 70 square meters yung space, 70 to 100 square meters. Yung yung space na yun at nag-i-invite ako ng mga gustong matutong mag-hosting, kumanta, tapos yung mga ganon. With that being said, may kakilala kasi ako, private entity to. Introduce ko sa'yo kung yun yung vision po ninyo. Meron siyang sariling building ngayon, nasa city center, tapos balak niyang gawing cultural and arts building, yung buong yun.
nice.
Tapos nagtanong nga sa akin paano na gagawin yun. Kilala mo yun, mamaya babanggitin ko.
Okay, sige.
Ayaw lang niyang ayaw lang niya pang magpa-media ngayon kasi gusto niya, pag nilabas niya, maayos na yung gusali niya.
Okay.
Kilala mo yun, sir?
Okay,
Oo,
sige.
tapos ko siya sa'yo. Pagdating po sa natin, environment and sustainability po, how will you balance tourism growth with environmental preservation? Especially po, na pabawas sa mga puno
Okay.
natin.
Actually, that's a very difficult question, but a very timely one. I've mentioned earlier that we are a magnet for tourism.
Yes.
So both local and foreign tourists are coming in the city because we are promoting tourism as well, which is one of the drivers of our local economy.
Yes.
One of our drivers. But there's also a need for us to balance economic progress and as well as providing for mechanisms to preserve our remaining green covers, our trees, na kung saan kilalang Baguio. The pine tree, a symbol of Baguio City, symbol of our dedication and commitment to environmental protection. Actually, ako isa akong ekonomista. Okay. Napakalaki ng impact ng ekonomiya sa isang komunidad. It gives employment,
Yes.
it gives opportunities, and a lot more.
Yes po.
Pero dapat magkaroon tayo ng way on how to make sure na hindi naman ito nako-compromise ang ating Mother Nature, ang ating
Yes.
environment. So it is true na yung mga puno natin, parang year after year na lang, may mga narinig tayong balita na napuputol na naman. So,
O di kaya matanda na bumabagsak na lang.
correct. So, itong ating initiative, advocacy, actually nasimulan ko na noong 2021, 2022. We filed a resolution and an ordinance. A resolution requesting the Office of the President noon to declare a tree cutting moratorium in Baguio. Na pa-stop muna natin ang pagpuputol ng puno while we do a systematic, a strategic analysis of the situation of Baguio when it comes to our trees. Kasi we cannot simply say, tama na muna ang economic progress. Stop muna. We cannot
Hindi rin
do
pwede.
that.
Oo.
Hindi rin pwede yun.
Opo.
So, kailangan mapag-aralan ng mabuti. Parang for example, are we going to promote more high-rise buildings? Are we going to regulate them? Are we going to provide other mechanisms to regulate economic or market activities? Napakahirap nun. So, mawawalan ng income yung mga negosyo natin dito. So, kailangan magkaroon ng kapasidad ang ating local government to analyze the situation. Kaya nga natin final yung resolution. Kasi humihingi muna tayo ng break muna tayo. Sandali lang. Pag-aralan natin ng mabuti at masinsinan. Then I filed an ordinance. However, it's currently pending ngayon. Still, sa City Council, an ordinance declaring a 3-year tree cutting moratorium ordinance in Baguio. Ang gusto nga ng karamihan, gawing 5, gawing 10 years ang tree cutting moratorium. Meaning to say, bawal mo nang magputol ng puno.
Pero point of view ng isang economist ay...
Point of view ng isang economist is that we look into the picture na ina-analyze natin how can we balance strategically. Kasi kapag tinigil natin ang economic activities, sinabi natin, wala mo nang magtatayo ng ganito, wala mo nang maglalagay ng ganyan, wala mo nang ganito. It may affect one way or another sa local residents natin.
Totoo po yan.
So, kailangan matalino ang pagtingin natin dyan. Kaya nga, if there's a capacity for us to ensure that the remaining watersheds, the remaining forest covers, dapat manatili silang
Watersheds.
watershed.
Oo.
So there should be no
exemption to other people
kasi
na pwedeng
kung
mag-ano
sasabihin natin, yes, dumadami ang tao sa Baguio,
Oo.
kailangan nila ng lote, hindi natin pwedeng i-compromise yung natitirang watersheds natin na i-open up natin for settlers. So hindi naman po pwede yun.
doon. Oo.
Yung mga existing natin na watersheds, forest covers should remain to be protected and preserved.
Tama.
So we can continue with our business. Kaya nga
Totoo,
nagkakaroon
totoo.
ng proposal na if there would be buildings in Baguio, pataas na siya ng pataas. Kasi because of the limited available spaces natin,
Makes sense. Oo.
pataas na lahat.
Correct.
So our buildings going up. Hindi na siya palawak.
Papalawak.
Hindi na siya
Tama,
palawak because of
oo.
the limited space.
Mm-mm.
At we can, I think, we can work around with that kind of context na yung mga business opportunities natin, mga buildings natin who can provide for economic activities,
Yes.
employment, we can consider going up.
Linear na siya.
But
Oo.
that does not mean na lahat na lang high-rise, skyscraper.
Kasi hindi lahat ng lupa
Hindi
pwedeng
po
tayo.
pwede yun. So we need to consider din yung lupa,
Landscape.
yung landscape.
Opo.
At meron tayong tinatawag sa planning
Mm-mm.
na yung dapat hindi maharangan
Yung
view
view. Yes.
ng Burnham.
Opo. Oo.
So dapat i-consider natin ang dami-daming bagay.
Mm.
So I think those are the certain local policies that we can study para ma-make sure natin na we can balance that. There's also such a thing as sustainable tourism, no? Na kayang-kaya nating i-accommodate ang mga turista without compromising the needs of our local residents.
Totoo.
So, yung pag-conserve ng tubig, yung pag-conserve
Yes.
ng energy,
Yes.
yung pagsiguro na maayos ang pagtatapon ng basura, yung available parking spaces kung saan they do not go around na tumataas ang emission ng usok.
Yes.
So, maayos natin lahat yan.
Ang galing Ang galing. Well, pag sa nabanggit yung kanina Sir Levy yung basura.
Yeah.
Baguio is very keen naman. Our current government is very keen about sa basura natin. Pero hindi pa siya 100% plastic free.
Yeah.
Oo. Ano pong masasabi niyo doon? O balak niyo po bang gawing 100% plastic free ang Baguio?
Actually, nagkaroon na ng strong initiatives ang ating local government noon nung binan nila ang plastics and styrofoams.
Yes.
However, meron pa rin ako nakikita na may plastic din.
Meron pa rin.
Meron pa din. Kaya
Oo.
nga, what we recommend or what we suggest for the local government of Baguio to do is to ensure na there are alternative na pwedeng gamitin. Kasi if we're going to remove this traditional na ginagamit nating panglagay ng gamit natin, ng mga pinapamalengke natin, dapat meron tayong may promote na other means or other ways on how to
Yes.
put our things inside a particular container.
Mm-mm.
Dati, pinromote yung habi pa yun? O, meron yung tote bag naman.
Tote bag, oo.
Meron yung
parang mga banig na ginawa.
mga banig na ginamit na ganyan. Meron yung bayong, mga containers,
Yes,
etc. Kaya nga, maganda nga dahil ang Baguio City ngayon, we abandoned waste to energy.
Totoo.
From the words of our Mayor Benji Magalong, we are now into waste to recycling. We are now into zero waste. So, if you're capable of reducing our wastes, much better. Parang halimbawa niyan, if you need to buy something, pwede naman yung may container ka, you put it there. Merong tingi-tingi shop ang ating
Yes.
lungsod.
Oo, meron.
Pwedeng bisitahin somewhere there sa may, I think, General Luna or Sudod Mitra area. Nando doon.
Tingi-tingi shop.
Tingi-tingi.
First time sa akin yan. Kasi nakaano ko lang sa mga tingi-tingi shop, sa mga store, nabibili ako ng 1/4 na mantika.
Yeah,
ng
like that.
Ganon di ba yun?
Yung plastic yun eh.
Oo.
Diba? Yung packaging ng ating mga binibili para sa kusina, usually naka-plastic.
Yes po.
So,
Ang tingi-tingi shop,
tingi-tingi siya. Pag meron kang container, parang halimbawa ito, may takip ka,
oo.
may store doon na,
Oo.
kukuha ka lang
I-measure
doon.
niya, tapos
Ilalagay mo lang
that's a
sa
very good
container
idea.
mo. So, in one way, we are reducing plastics.
Yes, totoo yan.
So, I think we need to be firm then when it comes to enforcing yung ating city policy in terms of banning single-use plastics. So, I think isa yon sa pwede natin gawin.
Yeah, I agree that yung single use ng plastic. Sir Levy, pagdating po sa culture and heritage natin,
Yeah.
I myself noticed na yung kultura natin, especially for men, yung mga turista, pinupuntahan nila yung mga, how do I say this properly? Baka mabash ako eh. Nasa-sexualize na ang kultura nating mga taga Baguio. For example po, yung nilalagay natin sa tuktok ng mga booth natin, yung mga masculine na mga lalaki, babae na gagandahan, tapos tinitilaan ng mga turista natin, o di kayo nasa front na humahawak ng mga letra, ang tinitingnan na is yung pangangatawan nila. Parang masyadong mabigat kapag sinabi ko nagagahasan na ang kultura ng Baguio. Kasi there's a, para sa akin po, there's a very thin line ng culture tapos ginagawang marketing o ginagawang sexualized na yung katutubong pananamit natin. Ano po ang niyo doon? Pananaw ninyo?
Alam niyo sa atin, we greatly value our culture,
Yes,
our roots here, most especially in Cordillera.
Yes po.
Not only in Baguio. But since our subject matter is on parang nasa-sexualize, or
Yes.
iadagdag na natin, nako-commercialize
Yes, apo.
ang ating kultura, siguro, let's go back to the initiative of the local government unit na magkaroon tayo ng more sensible way on how to approach our culture, na hindi dapat ito yung pag-assign natin on how we view our culture should be viewed based on tradition, based on our values. Kasi
I agree.
nag-iiba na yung pag-assign natin. Halimbawa, yung sinabi nyo nga, Bench, na pag may festivities, pag may malaking celebration sa
Yes.
lungsod ng Baguio, mga magagandang katawan ang fina-front natin na naka-cultural at na nakasuot ng ating mga
Yes,
bahag o ng tapis natin.
Mm-mm.
For as long as these people are not using or misusing or misappropriating yung pagsuot nila, no? Kasi ang hirap i-control ang
Yes,
pananaw
yun din,
ng
oo.
iba.
Totoo.
Lalo na yung hindi maalam sa
Totoo.
kultura natin. Marami silang pwedeng sabihin, marami silang pwedeng isipin, pero tayo mismo na taga Baguio, Cordilleran, na yumayakap sa ating kultura, dapat tayo mismo nakakaalam. Hanggang dito lang dapat ang
Yes,
pwede kong gawin. Lalo na kung suot-suot ko itong ating mga
katutubong na pananamit.
Yes.
Oo.
So, ang hirap kasi yun. Ang hirap na dapat tayo, and we should imbibe, magkaroon tayo ng programs na yung cultural values, cultural
Yes, I was
appreciation.
trying to go there.
Yan, yung
Oo.
appreciation natin na mismong tayo dapat na taga-Baguio, yung mga kabataan natin at a very young age, dapat ma-involve sila.
We are informed
Yes,
kung
you're informed.
tamang pamamaraan.
Ano ba tong
Oo.
damit na ito? Ano ba ito? Ano ba itong sayaw na ito? Ano
Tama
ba
ba
itong
yung
gamit?
pagsuot ko?
Tama ba yung pagsuot? Okay lang ba?
Oo.
Oh. So, yun yung mga kailangan natin consider. Kaya we advocate for
Ayun.
yung cultural, magbalik tayo sa ating pagtingin kung ano yung mga yan.
Mm-mm.
So, cultural appreciation, to ensure na tayo mismo, we're not allowing doors to open in terms of sexualizing or commercializing our
Totoo
culture.
yan. Totoo yan. Hindi natin makokontrol yung pananaw ng mga turista o yung mga hindi nakakalam sa kultura natin. Pero makokontrol natin kung ano yung gusto nating i-project
Yes.
by proper information and education about our culture.
Yes. And eventually, kapag very strong ang ating message when it comes to our initiatives,
Yes.
na to inform also ang ating mga tourists, ating mga bisita, they themselves also will respect and value the culture that we have.
Totoo. Have you visited Tamawan lately?
Yeah.
Ang galing ng mga performers
Yeah.
nila dun. Kasi very traditional and educational yung mga ginagawa na. Ay, kudos po sa mga taga-Tamawan.
Kaya nga very important yung role ng Tamawan,
Opo.
yung iba't ibang mga cultural areas natin na may
Yes.
nagpa-perform.
Totoo po yan.
Sinasayaw yung mga sayaw natin. When you go to Happy Hollow, napaka-rich ng pagyakap sa kultura doon.
Sa Happy Hollow?
Yes, kaya they can go there para mas matutunan nila. Pero they will not go there simply to view them as performers, but to appreciate the value and the culture of our
Totoo po yan.
Cordillerans, our
Totoo po.
IPs.
Totoo po yan. Pagdating po sa education and digital access, sangayon po ba kayo na nakikita ng sambayan ng Baguio ang council sessions natin?
Yeah.
For example, I would like to quote lang sa recently na nag-viral na medyo mainitang pag-uusap doon sa konsehal natin. At nakikita po ng mga kababayan natin yun na sa akin pananaw, dalawa yun eh. It's either we show what is happening or ma-filter natin para yung mga nakapanood na kabataan na hindi ma-disillusion. Ano po yung pananaw nyo doon?
I think we should continue
Continue.
with opening up the council session to the public. Kasi ito ay mga bagay na kailangan malaman ng ating mga residente para magkaroon sila ng opportunity or point of interaction with the local government officials.
Yes.
Hindi natin po pwedeng itigil yun kasi
I-filter.
magkakaroon kasi ng black box. Ibig sabihin nun, alam nila kung ano ang pinropose,
correct.
pero yung pinag-uusapan, bigla na lang merong sagot. So,
tama.
we need to ensure that there's consultation. We need to ensure that there's transparency.
Totoo po yan.
So, dapat bukas yan. Ito na yun, if the particular local official would choose to spur out words, spur out allegations, accusations na nagka-question sa personality, nagka-question sa intentions ng kapwa nila local officials, then let's give it to them. But what is more important is on the value of opening up the government, transparency. And in the government right now, we have the open government partnership. Now we are capable of providing the necessary information that people need to know.
Totoo po yan. Dito po sa ating lungsod, bihira ko po marinig ang salitang agrikultura. Sapagkat kakaunti na lamang ang mga lupain o na maaaring isaka. Diba? Meron po ba kayong advocacy regarding the agriculture dito sa ating lungsod?
Yeah. Actually, in my barangay, as a barangay captain of South Central Aurora Hill, na urbanized area, although it's a residential area, wala na kaming available lots for farming. Wala na kaming available spaces for agriculture. Pero we were able to come up with an innovative way on how to maximize the available urban space that we have. Kaya isang ali namin doon, kinonvert namin sa isang portion as smart farming or urban farming or gardening. Ginawa natin siyang hydroponics.
Yes,
So
I love hydroponics.
tayo ang first barangay sa buong lungsod na nagkaroon ng barangay managed
Totoo.
and operated hydroponic garden.
Ay, wow.
So, hindi ibig sabihin na wala tayong malalawak na taniman ay hindi natin
Hindi tayo kaya
na magkaroon ng initiatives for
Correct.
agriculture.
Totoo.
So, nagawa namin yon. And it is of my belief that we can also do it in the different barangays of Baguio. And luckily, with the administration of Mayor Benji, nagkaroon na ng 8 barangays ng kanilang sari-sariling hydroponic gardens.
Totoo po
So,
yan.
we would like to continue and empower our barangays as well in terms of food security. So, pwede natin gawin yon. Kahit may available small urban space dyan, we can still come up with mechanisms for agriculture in the barangay.
Totoo po yan. Natutuwa ako dahil nabanggit nyo ang hydroponics.
Yeah.
Kasi nung ako po yung aksidente, nabalita ko sa inyo na umalis po ako sa Baguio, Pilipinas at nag-volunteer po ako sa United Nations tsaka Blue Ocean sa Malaysia. At isang mga projects po na napuntahan ko doon ay yung hydroponics. Pinag-aralan po yan pinag-aralan namin yung, kasi na-involve talaga ako. Kaya natutuwa ako, merong hydroponics sa inyong barangay.
Yeah.
Ano po yung mga mga crops o mga products ninyo sa hydroponic?
Sa hydroponic ng ating barangay, ang first naging crop natin doon ay yung lettuce.
Yeah, yung
And
pinakamadali.
then, pinakamadali. And then we went to pechay. So yun ngayon ang ating crops doon sa barangay natin.
So you use yung mga tubes na
Yeah.
Oo.
Meron tayong mga PVC pipes doon na ginamit doon. May tubular, meron din mga round to ensure na maganda yung water flow. Kasi kailangan yun since it's a hydroponic.
Oo nga.
It depends on, it relies on water.
Totoo po yun. At tapos yung mga produkto po ninyo ay ibinebenta?
No.
Or pinamimigay nyo na lang?
Kasi pinamimigay natin to for health and nutrition din ng ating mga residents. So if they need to put vegetable on their meals, libre yun. So kailangan nating ensure na, kasi our barangay, kaya kami nagkaroon ng smart garden or urban gardening is not totally intended for income generating.
Hindi,
But it can be
It can
an
be.
opportunity. So first and foremost, we like to ensure na there is available vegetable para sa barangay. Yung mga malnourished, undernourished, yung in need of vegetable, meron
Yes,
sila
po.
doon kukunin. And if excess or merong surplus ang ating pananim sa barangay, that's an opportunity for us to sell.
So yung sa barangay po, ito po yung benchmarking ng ng community hydroponic. May mga barangay po ba na mayroon na rin ng similar sa inyo?
Yeah, I think in Imelda Marcos meron na.
Imelda
In
Marcos,
different barangays meron na rin. Currently, I think ongoing yung pag-install nila ng mga garden, hydroponic garden. Kaya nga it's a very good initiative kasi despite nga the reality that Baguio City is not an agricultural city, it's a highly urbanized city. We are still capable of ensuring that we have food that we can grow in our respective barangays.
Totoo yan. Totoo. Nakakatuwa kasi parang it's a source of income and madaling pagkunan ng pagkain din kasi ang hydroponic. Opo. Nabanggit niyo po na you are very much into social inclusion.
Yeah.
Opo. Can you tell us more about that?
Social inclusion kasi, dugtungan natin yun. Social inclusion and equity. So, we're not speaking about equality but equity.
Yes po.
So, sa ating community kasi, hindi lang naman tayo nakafocus sa women. Hindi lang tayo nakafocus sa men. Hindi lang tayo nakafocus sa children, sa youth, sa senior.
Yes.
Nakafocus din tayo sa LGBT. Meron din tayong opportunities for PWD. May opportunities for IP.
Yes,
And those who are in need of special protection.
Yes,
So napakalawak niyan. Kaya dapat lahat ng particular na pangangailangan, issues and concerns ng iba't ibang sektor na nabanggit natin ay dapat mapakinggan at dapat mabigyan ng solusyon.
Totoo.
So in terms of social inclusion, dapat hindi sila naiiwan. They are properly represented when it comes to policy making ng city, when it comes to programming, when it comes to decision making. Dapat nandoon lahat. Yun nga sinasabi natin na dapat walang naiiwan, walang natatalikuran at walang sinasantabi.
Sabay-sabay tayo uusad.
Sabay-sabay tayong uusad. So kung anong particular na pangangailangan ng particular na sektor, dapat maibigay natin sa kanila yon.
Totoo.
Na hindi natin inuuna lamang yung iisa. Dapat we spread out the resources of the government to reach those who are in particular need of those services. Na iba-iba yan eh. Hindi po pwedeng one size fits all. Hindi one solution
Totoo po.
to all. Hindi po pwede yun. Kaya nga, equity ang tinitignan natin.
Totoo yan. Totoo yan. Sa Baguio po, masasabi natin na mapayapa tayo. Pero nagkakaroon pa rin po ng mga kaunti-unting mga, how to say, panganib. Pero safety po, total safetyness ng ating community, especially yung pagpapailaw sa mga communities natin, sa mga main streets natin. Ngayon po kasi, hindi na siya want lang eh. Yung pagkakaroon ng CCTV sa mga komunidad natin o mga streets natin. But it's safety na po. Tsaka proof na safe talaga ang ating komunidad. Ano po yung nakikita nating programa pagdating po dito sa safety ng ating syudad?
Okay, I think that for us to come up with a most effective way in responding to the community needs in terms of peace and order is that aside from the CCTV, we ensure that maliwanag ang ating mga daanan. So we have lights.
Yes po.
Aside from that, we need to ensure that merong magresponde. Pag kailangan ng police, pag kailangan ng fire, pag kailangan ng EMS or medical services. Kaya nga very crucial yung nagkaroon tayo ng command center sa Baguio, the 911, na hindi na natin iisipin anong number ang tatawagin natin. You have the 911 to call.
Yes po.
Then, easily our teams from police, fire, as I mentioned earlier, can respond agad.
Totoo.
So, hindi lang pa pwedeng nakaiwan lang yung CCTV dyan. The CCTV will be useless kung walang particular response. Kasi yun, documentation, monitoring yun, surveillance yun.
Tama po.
Pero pag walang mag-responde, na-record na sa CCTV, nasaksak na yung yung kababayan natin na itulak na sa hagdan, kailangan may responde.
Correct.
At kailangan may accountability. Kaya dapat yung ating kapulisan in partnership with our barangays and those communities around the particular incident are also open to providing the necessary support para magkaroon ng proper investigation, para ma-held accountable itong mga taong ito. Kaya nga very crucial, not only the CCTV, not only the ilaw, but also the response of our respective government entities.
Totoo yan.
So the 911 should be empowered further. Madagdagan yung kapasidad natin in terms of deploying ambulances, emergency medical services, yung mobile na mga pulis, yung pag-roving ng ating mga barangay. Hindi lang yan sa pulis pati sa barangay officials din natin. So we empower them by ensuring that what they need in terms of dispensing their particular role and function in maintaining peace and order, kayang-kaya nilang pangalagaan.
With my experience po, one time, nagkaroon kami ng meeting tapos umabot na kami ng mga alas 2 na ng madaling araw at na may nagkagulo, may nag-aaway, sabi natin may nagbubugbugan doon. Tumawag kami sa 911, ako specifically, tapos sa Manila yung nakausap ko. I was expecting na yung sa command center natin na makakano. Tapos ang nangyari pa sa communication namin, it took us 15 minutes bago maiparating sa pinakamalapit na pulisya. Yun yung pinakita namin na pwede na kasi tatanungin pa nila kung ano yung specific street tapos yung pinakamalapit na police station. Yung 15 minutes na yun, sana nakapag-save kami ng buhay kung dumating kaagad yung police. Ano po yung nakikita natin doon na bakit tumagal ng gano'n yung responde ng 911?
Kasi ano yun, I think that was before na yung network.
Yes.
Yung difference ng Smart and Globe when it comes to using 911 is iba yung bato kasi. Meron yung, I do not recall kung Smart ba o Globe ang pumupunta pa sa Manila when you dial 911. But recently, as per the mayor, naayos na yung system na yon. Kaya when you dial 911, regardless of your network, diretso na dito sa ating command center.
Nice.
So, at saka, hindi lang kasi yun, kailangan yung capacity rin ng ating response teams dapat madagdagan. As I mentioned earlier, madagdagan ang ambulansya, ang EMS natin, ang mga personnel natin, pati na rin ma-empower ang barangay, nandoon na sa community. Since mas frontliner sila, mas mabilis rumisponde. So, mas agaran.
Mula po nag-upisa kayo ng karera nyo sa politika, nasa good governance na kayo?
No.
How is it working with the current mayor right now?
Working with the Mayor Benji Magalong is really an opportunity for growth and development. Kasi napaka-empirical ni Mayor, napaka-scientific, na hindi to spur of the moment na binabanggit na lang. Ganito na lang.
Totoo.
So I learned a lot from the Mayor. At lahat ng binibigay niyang solutions, lahat ng pinipresent niyang possible solutions to the city of Baguio, to our communities, ay napag-isipan ng mabuti.
May research.
Yun yung kailangan natin sa lungsod ng Baguio. Hindi yung bara-bara, na hindi yung dahil binulungan ka lang ng isang kaibigan mo, maniniwala ka na at yun ang i-implementa mo. Hindi lang sariling pananaw. At kasama doon is yung pagkonsulta sa mga tao.
Yes po.
Okay, yung very important yon sa ating
Public
government na
consultation.
ang dami ng engagement ng city government. Both the mayor and the vice mayor, Faustino Olowan, leading the Sangguniang Panglungsod, properly consulted ng mga tao. So kailangan magkaroon tayo ng proper mechanisms to come up with intelligent decisions to ensure lahat ng voices na stakeholder doon sa particular concern ay mabigyan ng pagkakataon na madinig at mapag-aralan ng mabuti, not only by a single person. That is what I learned from the mayor, na very scientific, very data-driven ang ginagawa natin.
Si Mayor ba sa'yo ay parang ama o parang kapatid?
Parang tatay. Si Mayor, parang tatay na rin si Mayor kasi sasabihin niya kung anong mali mo. Sasabihin niya, what can you improve? How can you improve? That you should have a vision, you should have an objective na hindi tayo bara-bara sa mga nais natin gawin. Meron tayong pinanghawakang prinsipyo. So kami sa Good Governance Alliance ngayon, kung saan tayo nakaalyado, is na bumabalik kami lagi doon. Na transparency, accountability, ethical leadership, competence, and consultations, consultative engagement. So yun yung bumubuo sa ating kampanya ngayon, sa ating endeavors and advocacies.
Okay po. Balikan po natin nung unang nakaupo kayo sa konsehal bilang leader po ng kabataan. You've been a counselor because you were the head of the youth.
Yeah.
Balikan lang po natin, i-review natin ang mga kaanyangan natin tsaka mga taga-Baguio natin. Ano-ano po ang mga naipasa nating ordinances when you were seated? Or ano po yung mga highlights ng career nyo before?
Yeah, in a span of 2018 to 2023, we were able to author 21 ordinances.
Dami.
As principal author yan, hindi yan
Wow.
as co-author lang.
Oo.
So, nabanggit ko na yung iba kanina.
Yes po.
The Mental Health Ordinance of
Yes.
Baguio.
At napaka-importante.
Yes.
Ako
tayo
nakinaban
isa
dyan.
sa major author yan.
Opo.
Ang ating Sports Code of Baguio, providing for more support to our athletes, coaches, and in terms of providing sports development in the city. Na-author natin yon. Ang ating Youth Code, providing for more mechanisms for the youth to engage in government and to ensure that their rights are protected. We have the Youth Code. We have the modernization and the expansion of the services of the City Public Library, kung saan
Oh,
naging
yes.
essential
Oo.
to
Oo.
para mapansin ang City Library natin.
Yes,
That's
po.
very proactive
Oo
ngayon.
naman.
We have the bonds ordinance na it is promoting for alternative capitalization for economic enterprises sa city. Now we would not only be depending on loans, we would not only be depending on the budget of the city as approved in an annual basis. We also have capacity to float LGU bonds.
Yes.
We also have the HIV/AIDS ordinance na sabi natin
Yes po,
kanina.
kanina.
We also have marami pa tayong ordinansa.
dami, oo.
Siguro isa pa sa
Yung
highlight
pinaka-highlight
natin
po.
is the Gawad Lingap Ordinance of Baguio City.
Gawad Lingap.
This is an
Yes po.
ordinance providing for financial monthly allowance for kinder to grade 12. Yung mga kinder to grade 6
oo,
natin,
yes, oo.
they are receiving 500 pesos
Oo.
allowance. Yung grade 7 to grade 12 natin, they're receiving 1,000 pesos na allowance nila.
Ito po yung sa mga public kindergartens.
Enrolled in public schools.
Oo.
So yan, ni-remove natin ang maintaining grade, ensured natin na passing grade ay okay na.
Parang sa Japan.
Yeah. So ang isa nating mga tangan-tangan advocacy is that kung kung gusto nating makapag-aral ang mga bata, may pagkakataong makapag-aral. Pero dapat makapagtapos.
Totoo.
So yun yung isang pamamaraan na para hindi to ayuda. Hindi to kailangan na pipila ka, nabibigyan ka lang ng isang supot ng pagkain, but this is a more long-term or medium-term solution.
Totoo.
Kasi kaya nga yung pinakauna nating usapan kanina about sustainable
Yes po.
economic endeavors, yun yung pwedeng maging paraan para ma-complement itong educational assistance natin para sa mga kinder to grade 12.
Oo. Ang galing naman nun. 500 per student po
Per
yun.
month.
Per month. Ang laki nun.
Mm.
Oo. Sa isang classroom po, ilan ang estudyante ng kinder?
Siguro, sa kinder, siguro
oo.
15, 20 sa
Wow.
kinder.
Kada barangay ito.
Depende kung meron sila mga child development centers. Sa ating mga elementary school, madami ang ratio
Ang
ng
laki.
isang teacher sa dami ng estudyante. Ganon din sa high school. Kasi covered lahat yan. Kaya nga very salient ito sa accomplishments natin kasi it's a very effective way to ensure that we reduce the number of dropouts in public school.
Tama.
Imagine public school na ngayon, dropout pa.
Kaya nga. oo.
Kaya nga dapat continuous ang kanilang learning, hindi na mag-drop out. Yan yung Gawad Lingap Ordinance natin.
Wow. Ay, mga kanyangay, I'm really amazed po na sa murang edad, hindi man sabing murang edad, pero at an early stage of his career, ang dami niya na pong nagawa sa ating bayan. 21, tama po ba? 21.
Yes.
Nako, that's a big accomplishment. Alright, mga kaanyangay, we are almost on the last part of our program. At ito na po yung inaantay ninyo, ang bullet round or ang ating fast talk. At dito po, Sir Levy, magbibigay ako ng mga options. And mamimili po kayo ng isa. Wala pong tamang sagot. Pananaw nyo po ito. And sometimes po, I will pause and ask you why about. We have prepared about 40 questions sa bullet round
40?
natin. Yes, mabilis lang yan. Gagawin natin yan in 2 minutes.
Kasi
Yan.
we have
Oo,
we have
yes.
to get
Mabilis
back to
lang
the
to.
campaign trail.
Okay. Okay, Sir Levy, Baguio sunrise or Baguio fog?
Fog.
You love.
Yeah.
Mas gusto mo malamig. Coffee at Burnham Park or Taho sa Mines View?
Coffee at Burnham Park.
Late night council meetings or early morning barangay visits?
Late night council meetings.
Palagi bang gabi?
You-
Barangay
night
council.
owl kasi ako. Pero syempre, we cannot force other people to work. Pero on my personal preference, mas nakakapag-work
Mas active ka sa
ako. Mas
gabi.
active ako sa gabi.
Mga millennials, mas active sa mga gabi. Integrity or popularity?
Integrity.
Results or excuses?
Results.
Traffic solutions, elevated walkways or better PUV system?
Better PUV system.
If Baguio had a theme song, ano po yun?
Theme song. Ako, hindi man ako mahilig sa mga kanta-kanta. Oo. We will rock you.
Pwede yan. Baguio will rock the
Yeah.
Philippines. Worst trait a public servant can have?
Worst trait.
Yes.
A public servant. Ang tawag nito. I think it's a very mabigat na term to. Niisip ko kung anong mas magandang
Pagkaanin natin.
sugarcoat ko pa.
Sige. I-sugarcoat natin yan.
Mediocrity.
Lahat naman.
Diba?
Lahat naman sa trabaho. Oo.
Lalo na
Mediocrity.
sa public service.
Oo naman. Oo. Dapat ibigay mo ng 100%. Oo. Totoo yan. Youth voice, too loud or not loud enough? Ang boses ng kabataan. Is it too loud?
It's actually loud.
Loud na siya ngayon.
Loud na siya.
Okay. Run for counselor or run away from responsibility?
Run for counselor.
Naman. Isang law na gusto mong tanggalin kaagad. Ng
Isang
Baguio.
law?
Oo.
Isang law na gusto kong
Isang
tanggalin.
city ordinance na gusto mong
Isang
tanggalin.
city ordinance na gusto kong tanggalin. I cannot think of one as of the moment kasi I do believe na when I was in the city council, very effective naman ang ating local legislators.
Totoo yan.
At I'll do a more deeper research kung meron man kailangan baguhin.
O improve, no?
Or improve.
Oo, totoo yan. Isang ordinance you are very proud to author.
The Gawad Ordinance.
Yes,
The Gawad
I
Lingap Ordinance.
I agree with it. Transparency, is it a buzzword or baseline lang?
It's not just a buzzword. It's not a buzzword. It's actually a value. It's a principle.
Yes. Totoo yan. One youth habit you'd like to encourage?
Youth habit
Yes.
that I would like to encourage is to do research.
One youth habit that you'd like to banish?
Vanish? Apathy. Apathy, oo. Meron pa rin kasi a very small portion na lang ay walang intent to participate. Walang intent to be involved.
Yes.
A small portion of our populace. Pero I think we are better roads right now.
Yes. Ang barangay assembly ba ay must attend or chika festival lang to?
Must attend. Must attend.
Hindi ba nagsasama-sama yung mga... O sige. Baguio's biggest strength in one word?
Biggest strength? Our diversity.
Oh yes. Baguio's biggest problem in one word?
Biggest problem in one word is garbage.
Pa rin.
Basura.
Pa rin. Okay. Bilang leader ng kabataan, TikTok advocacy or radio interview?
Radio interview?
Yeah, syempre. Podcast interview.
Yeah.
Late reports or late night snacks?
Late reports.
May snack ka ba sa gabi?
Ayoko nagsasnack na sa gabi.
Okay. Would you post your daily work schedules publicly? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay.
But more on results.
More results. If someone is going to make a book about your life, ano yung gusto mong mabasa nila?
Everything. Since I started, our family background, they would know me better. Where am I coming from? Why am I like this? When I'm advocating for certain things.
Yes.
So I think the entirety of my life is already considered to be one book, and I would welcome anybody who would like our book about me.
It's an open book.
It's an open book.
Ano yung title ng magiging libro mo?
Okay, maybe an inspiration from an inspiration. Maybe that's an inspiration.
Baguio's inspiration. Tama. Ano yung cover page? Litrato ng
Cover
libro mo?
page?
Yeah.
Siguro more of my engagements with the people.
Ah.
A lot. Marami yun. Ayokong na ako. Ayoko na ako lang. I don't actually, I don't feel comfortable na ako lang ang nakikita. Dapat with the people that we work with, the people we have provided support, assistance, that we were part of the advocacy. Ganun.
Yes. And that is a mark of a real public service person. Sir Levy, The camera represents Baguio City at mga kaanyangay natin. Ngayon po ay alam po ng halos lahat na ng mga taga Baguio na kayo po ay tumatakbo sa isang upuan sa konsehal po. Nais po, ito po ang opportunity natin, platform natin para maibigay po ang ating advokasya sa ating mga kababayan dito sa Baguio at bakit kailangang iboto si Levy Orcales.
Okay, so magandang gabi sa ating lahat. Ito si Levy Orcales, currently a barangay captain of South Central Oro Hill, the youngest barangay captain in the entire city of Baguio, 29 years old. Ito pong anak ninyo na si Levy Orcales ay 15 years na hong lingkod bayan sa ating barangay at nanilbihan din na as an ex-officio city councilor bilang presidente ng SK ng lungsod ng Baguio for almost 6 years. Sa ating background pagdating sa paglilingkod sa ating mga kababayan, nasubukan na ho natin ang iba't ibang pamamaraan. Napag-aralan na rin natin ang pinaka-epektibong solusyon sa iba't ibang problema natin when it comes to environment, when it comes to social welfare, when it comes to economic development, when it comes to agriculture, and when it comes to inclusion ng ating mga kababayan sa ating mga pag-uusap. So sana po makita ninyo na kahit bata tayo, may kapasidad tayong tumulong at makapagbigay ng maayos na solusyon sa ating mga hinanain o suliranin. So ito ang isang Levy Orcales na nagsasabing bigyan natin ng pagkakataong magtagumpay ang mga taong lumalaban ng patas sa buhay. Kaya po, worry less kay Levy Orcales. Number 29 tayo.
Yay! O bago tayo magpaalam, may sasabihin mo na ito ako sa ating mga mga viewers natin, mga kaanyangay natin. Mga kaanyangay ngayong gabi ay napakinggan natin at natuklasan natin na hindi hindrance o hindi balahid ang pagiging isang payak na pamumuhay o pagiging mahirap. Siya po ay pinalaki ng isang single parent po at nag-OFW pa nga ang kanyang mga magulang at ang kanilang buhay ay simple lamang. Pero sa kanyang komunidad at an early age po ay nagsilbi na siya sa kanyang simbahan, sa kanyang komunidad at patuloy pa rin siyang nagsisilbi hanggang ngayon. Maaaring sabihin natin na buong buhay niya ang public service po ang kanyang passion sa kanyang at inspirasyon sa kanyang buhay. Kung bubuksan po natin ang ating diksyonaryo at makikita po natin ang commitment at strength at youth, makikita po natin ang muka ni Sir Levy Orcales sa tabi ng salitang yun. Maraming salamat po mga kaanyangay. Good night po.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I know you're very busy po.
Balik na kami.
Yes po. Sir, maraming salamat. Thank you. Yan namin bukas